Democratic congressional hopeful Matthew Artero was eliminated from the race during Saturday's primary. He received only 2,008 votes compared to incumbent Madeline Bordallo, who received 5,882 of the votes cast by Democrats in this weekend's primary election. Lone Republican candidate Margaret Metcalf will now face Bordallo in November's general election. Republican senatorial candidate Romeo Carlos was also eliminated in Saturday's primary, receiving the lowest number of votes of the 16 candidates on the Republican ballot. Those two races were the only deciding factors in Saturday's primary. As the results were coming in at the UOG Fieldhouse Saturday night, GEC Chairman Joe Mesa told PNC that might be the reason why voter turnout was so low.
I was hoping maybe we get about 66, but based on my observations today, lucky if we even hit 50%. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong.
Mesa wasn't wrong. Only about 44% of those registered to vote turned up at the polls this weekend. But the number of votes received still mattered to candidates, as they saw where they rank among their opponents. For Democrats vying for Senator, Frank Uggan Jr., Dennis Rodriguez, and B.J. Cruz were the top vote-getters, with Frank Ngata Jr., Rodney Cruz Jr., and Derek Baza Hills getting the lowest number of votes on the Democratic ballot. For Republicans, Tony Atta, Tommy Morrison, and Jim Espaldon received the most votes in the primary, with Romeo Carlos eliminated from the race, Valentino Perez, Felix Benavente, and Michelle Hope Titano receiving the lowest number of votes of those who move on to the general election. In the gubernatorial race, Calvo Tenorio received 99.36% of the Republican vote, and Gutierrez Gumatauta received 98.13% of the votes cast by Democrats. For Attorney General, a nonpartisan race, Elizabeth Bear Anderson was the top vote-getter with 13,708 votes. Lenny Rapadas got 7,083 votes. Their names will both be on the general election ballot. As the final results were reported at about 3 a.m. Sunday morning, GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan spoke about some of the issues encountered in the primary, including 834 crossover ballots, a printing error that caused some ballots to be one-sided, and ballots that needed to be reconciled.
There were, just sometimes the ovals were too dark. Sometimes the ovals were too dark. This last duplication was the oval was too light. So it just depends, and they read it on the machine, or it doesn't get read by the machine. We need to go and try.
With the primary now behind us, GEC has just over a week to certify the results.
There's a lot more work to be done. We still, besides dealing with the one-sided ballots, we still have to do absentee ballots as well. We have 10 days, we have up until September 9th to finish accounting for those, and then we start with the general election again.